Have you heard of data-centric AI? Historically, over the years in artificial intelligence, the main focus for driving improvements has been on improving the models, improving the algorithms, and usually try to feed the algorithm more data, as much data as possible, to get a more accurate model or a better representation of how the world works and the patterns that are in the data. So from a research perspective, we had more and more complex models that were doing more and more calculations, and that's where the focus was, and we wanted to give it as much data as possible. And a lot of people would remember, maybe a decade or decade and a half ago that it was all about big data, and big data was a term that people were using kind of almost like interchangeably with analytics, and it was all about big data. So now we got into a point where models are super complex. They take so much computing power, they take so much time to compute, and the gains that we're getting from them are very, very small when we're looking at very large models that are looking at very complex things like GPT-3 and DALL-E and things like that. So now there is a trend that's going almost in the opposite direction, which is this data-centric AI, which is focusing on providing the algorithms better quality data and sometimes much smaller data. So it's almost like the rise of small data now. And what we're finding with this is an area that I'm really interested in. What people are finding with this is that the models get better prediction. They're able to detect the signals much better in the data. You need a lot less data to train a model. The models run much faster, so it's also much greener, and there is a number of benefits that are coming out of using smaller data but of much higher quality. So very curated data, and obviously from a data governance and data quality perspective, this is excellent. And for a lot of companies, we find that our differentiator and our unique value proposition relies heavily on the data that we have access to that other people don't. And that's why you see so many AI companies spending so much money on labeling data, on capturing or acquiring data that is unique, so that becomes their differentiator, and they can build a capability on top of that. So now that's going to continue to extend, and we're going to be focusing more and more on improving the quality of the data, capturing really good data, spending more time with humans in the data, trying to improve it, and leveraging either more simple algorithms or AutoML solutions. And we can still use the very complex algorithms, but now more and more we don't need to. And this will be especially relevant for startups or new companies, new teams that may not have the best data in their space. They're looking to build it. They can do a lot of good work with the small data that they have. Just wanted to share that. Tell me if you heard about it. Tell me any thoughts that you have on data-centric AI. Obviously, Andrew Ng has been a huge proponent of this over the past couple of years, and I think it's a very important trend for us to keep an eye on. I hope this has been helpful. See you in the next video.